See, Hungary has decided they want to own Croatia directly. Croatia said no, and now there is a tiny little quote-unquote civil war within the Austro-Hungarian Empire between the Hungarians and their puppet. Not like it matters all that much, mind you. It's only the Hungarians. Not like the kind of thing that tends to happen if the Austrians say they want direct control of everything. Because when that happens, it tends to not go over too well with the Austrians. With the Hungarians, I should say. Okay. You guys, we need to take that little province. And then shortly after, this war should be won. Okay. Let's do this. And I'm going to reduce the speed, I think, down to merely fast from very fast. Because right now, the primary thing I'm going for is winning this war. Which, while it's been a pretty short war, we have been pushed back on a few small occasions. So I like to slow the game down so I can keep an eye on things. But with that, the annexation of the Yunnan clique is official. Korean uprising, fate of Bhutan, money devaluation. Well, the Korean uprising is just about over, unfortunately. And they did not decide to try and break away from Japan, unfortunately. We will now go up to very fast speed. Azerbaijan gets a nice declaration of war, it would seem. And it's time to start redeploying my troops along the border with Mongolia. They are my next target. And Mongolia needs to be taught a painful lesson, I think. About why they're not going to be staying independent. That and mostly I just like invading Mongolia, because Mongolia. I'll wait for everyone else to arrive before I deploy anyone else, and yet, Japan annexed Korea. Early hospital system is done. On to basic hospital system then. Let's get up there as far as we can with that. Okay then. What's going on? Ah, of course. And now that other civil war I was talking about has just kicked off. The Carlists have risen up in Spain against the Spanish government. Followed shortly by the Spanish Communists, the CNT, I guess they're called. But I actually can't pronounce their full name, so I'm not going to bother. The Spanish Communists and the Carlists have both risen up now. So we've got a three-way war in Spain, in addition to one in America. And if you take a look at the one in the Americas, in America even, it looks rather like the American government is losing this war. And I'm not going to actually put a bet on this, but if I had to guess, I would say the most likely faction to end up victorious in this civil war will be the Union State, which will be a new one. I basically never see the Union State win. Of course, if they did win, they would then probably have to deal with Mexico, because they would inevitably want those territories that the federal government surrendered so they could fight the Civil War back in American hands. And they'd also have to deal with the Pacific States of America, because that's also territory they'd probably want. So it's not going to end with the Civil War. Certainly not. But I'll be interested to see where this American Civil War goes. The one thing I can tell you, though, is if the Union State does win it, then that probably means Canada is safe, because one thing I tend to see happen a lot is when the Communists win the American Civil War, they have a tendency to invade and puppet Canada. It's just a thing they do. I have no idea why it happens that way, but America has a tendency to get invaded and puppeted if the Communists win the Civil War. And now Bohemia is trying to fight to break away from the Empire with the Austrian centralization thing they got going on. Let's see here. Hungary annexed Croatia. Well, that didn't take them long. Let's have a look at how things are over in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Well, Japan has just formed an alliance with Siam, it looks like. And I've actually played as Japan once or twice before, so I do know what that alliance is. It's basically Hey Siam, you can have Indochina, and it might also be in Malaysia. Yeah, you can have Indochina and that little bit of Malaysia you border if you join our alliance and help us kick Germany's ass. It's basically something along those lines. Get those couple over to that border. And how are things going over here? The PSA is apparently kicking Mexico's ass right now. Have fun with that, PSA. Have fun with that. Apparently, we don't have the dealing with Mongolia option available to us right now. I could decide to deal with southern China first and then Mongolia, actually. And I think I may just do that. I mean, these guys were formed very, very recently, and through a civil war at that, so... Oh, it's not unreasonable to think that they would still be building up their army somewhat. Now, let's put you there. I'll redeploy everyone. And we'll see how this goes. Also, apparently some other people are redeploying that I want to unredeploy. So, see how this goes. Yes, deploy the army against students, Burma. Very good idea. Definitely not going to go wrong in any way whatsoever. Certainly not. 7. I have 2 more units that I can deploy, and we'll have basics. Let's see, with these guys over here, we have a good chunk of this covered, so deploy them there, and then we'll see what happens. Once they get everyone in position. Okay. Upgrades keep rolling on by. Excellent. These two divisions here can take that location, mostly just for deterrence. I don't predict actually using that tiny number of divisions to fight against the Republic with. But it could happen. Who knows? Interceptor 1930. Now we can start researching the other types of airplanes. Politics and economic reform. If we're to move the empire towards the future, we must continue our reforms. H.A. Kung, the rich banker, is offered to help. Or should we choose the German Steins to bring the people in line? Wang Kemen is a good worker and organizer and is liked by the people, however. Let's see. What do we go for? We would get more dissent if we decided to put the German in charge. But seeing as we have no dissent right now, that's something I don't really have to consider as part of this, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will put the German in charge. I kind of like the bonuses it gives, plus the extra little opinion boost with Germany. Even though we're eventually going to end up probably hostile with them, due to the fact I'll be seizing a bunch of their territory in the region, we still do want to try and make nice with the Germans for the time being. It's our relationship with them that's going to be keeping the Japanese at bay for the time being. And we want to preserve that for as long as we possibly can. We really do. Well, the Republic of China's encryption technology is far ahead of our own. That or it's the fact that we apparently don't have them on our intelligence list somehow. Astonishingly enough, how did we manage that, not having these idiots on my intelligence list? for the time being, we just want to wait and have time pass a little bit, because I'm recruiting some more infantry divisions to add to my existing army. As there's a couple of places where I think I need to reinforce my lines a little bit before we go to war with them. Once I get that taken care of, I will actually be going after the idiots. Yes, I'll be going after them soon enough. For now, we'll hold off on that. And I'll change my research. It's time to do a little more research into tanks. We're not really building any right now, but that's mostly because our current tanks are shit, and we don't want to build them until they're not shit. See, Walter Stein's modernization program. If China is to be great, we should adopt German practices. Of all the nations of the world, Germany has 1,000 times proven itself to be the greatest empire of them all. We Chinese should march like Germans to be part of this new world empire, and Stein's the bullheaded man who will lead us towards this goal. German organized factories will be built, and local administrators will be required to learn the German work ethic. All these reforms will surely bring China towards the modern era. However, there is likely to be some dissent. Perhaps we should reform slowly and take some lessons from the corporate organization in the South. Yes, Steins will show the Chinese how to work. We'll get some dissent, but oh well. And I need to increase our consumer goods a little bit. And now we're losing dissent, as we should be. Okay, what's going on? Our divisions be deployed, and yes, the monarchists in Romania have revolted. Well done, well done. Excellent job with the revolt. Our next divisions we'll have out in March, as well as one more in a few days. I'm gonna plonk a few divisions up here to just hold that area, while everyone else pushes in on them. Now, how is everything going in America? Well, the federal government has just about capitulated. And then it will be time to see how well or poorly the CSA does against the Union State. Let's see. You can take position there. And I'll put a few more divisions in that location to be able to cover for everything. Then we'll just about have the whole border covered. And that'll be enough troops that I will be able to stop waiting and just declare the war at that point. Okay, someone explain to me why there's so much revolt risk there. I mean, this territory should be Chinese. Why is it not being integrated? That's what I want to know. Maybe the Yunnan just don't like me very much. Or things have happened in a certain way that there aren't events set up for it because the mod authors didn't anticipate. That's a possibility, I suppose. Not a very likely possibility, but it's one that's there nonetheless. So I suppose we still have to consider it. Heavy fighting in New York. Government nationalizes the private sector. That increases our dissent. God damn it. And, maybe I was a little premature. Maybe there is a chance the CSA could win. Because in some ways, a CSA victory would actually benefit us. Because if the CSA won, then they would undoubtedly march north and obliterate Canada, making them into a puppet state. And if Canada was puppetized, then the only members left in the Entente would be the Caribbean Federation and Delhi. And as it happens, controlling India is one of the long-term goals I've been considering. So, being able to go after Delhi without having to worry about constantly being bombed or something from over in the Americas would be nice. So, in some ways I kind of hope the CSA win. But, if they don't, then I'll adapt. We'll see what happens. And it doesn't appear that the Russians are doing all that well. Things look a little bit stalemated over there. The royalist coup in Romania has been crushed. Not that it really matters to me, because Romania is totally irrelevant and doesn't matter to us in the slightest. Haiti has invaded the Dominican Republic. Again, I don't care because that's in America, and not even a part of America I give a damn about. 1935. Go on then. Production standardization. And multi-role fighter 1926. Yunnan has been defeated. We finally got the bloody event. God. The military quasi-state of Yunnan has been put down by our vaunted soldiers. Order has been restored in southwestern China. Good. Those are all considered national provinces now. We lose some dissent, and goodbye bloody revolt risk. Because yes, the reunification of China is progressing nicely. And now, all I'm waiting on before we decide to take the plunge and go to war with the Republic of China, the false state that dares to share a border with the righteous empire of the Chinese people. All that we're waiting on before we go after them is for some more of my divisions to finish recruiting, so I can build up a few of my armies on the border just a touch before we go after them. Which will be sometime early next year, is when I believe that's gonna happen. If I'm reading that right. And if we don't suddenly have to redistribute our industrial might to another or lack thereof to another location. Because we still need to rebuild that. I still need to do some industry building. And we can. As our industry is pretty poor right now. 81 max. Which is why, after I take out the Republic of China, and then probably after I conquer Mongolia, which is, actually, I take that back. So, after I take out the Republic of China, I'm just gonna put all my troops on the Mongolian border in case, and a few on the Japanese, in case they try anything funny. And then, I'm going to spend I'm going to stop my recruitment of new divisions and start building industry everywhere I can throughout China. We're just going to take a break from military expansion and industrialize. Industrialize, industrialize, bloody industrialize. That is all we're going to do after this. Okay then. Divisions are finally starting to upgrade to 1936. So we're starting to have modern, fully upgraded infantry divisions. I'm going to cancel off all of these. And once those guys go through, we'll stop producing the 1931 divisions. And start producing 1936 divisions. Now let's see what. producing at about half of what I would be otherwise. Gonna have to deal with getting a few of those 1931 divisions before we get into the 1936ers, but I'll put up with it. French Empire, our census is done. Yes, I definitely care about your bloody census, France. Basic computing machine. Into there. Start moving down this route so that I can get proper encryption and decryption going. And be able to tell how many divisions my enemy has. Because right now, as far as the number of divisions that our foes have on the border, we're flying blind, because that's just how technologically backwards the Qing Empire is at this point. We need to get our computer technology up to snuff before we declare this war. We really do. Don't have a choice there. Because otherwise I'll have to attack a group of enemy divisions and pray that they aren't like 10 or 20 times my size, and I don't like that at all. In any case, we're just about there. Infantry 1936. Gotcha. Status of Macau. Let's see. Macau. I don't remember where that. Oh, right. It's that bit of China that Portugal owns. That's going to be something we have to address at some point. Firstly, though, we've reached 1938, and I've been playing this for long enough for this recording session, I think, so I'm going to call it here. So, this has been DarkPhoenix Gaming, and you've been watching my Let's Play of Kaiserreich as the Qing Empire. And, despite me only going for about an hour, I'd say this was a fairly successful play session. We managed to knock out the Yunnan, and are basically in position for a war with the Republic of China. So, next time around, we will do that. I will obliterate the Republic of China, and then we'll take a break from our military expansion for some industrial expansion, I think. So, if you've enjoyed this, then please leave a like, share this video with anyone else you think might also like it. Comment down below if you have any suggestions, or if you just want to tell me how I'm doing everything wrong. I don't think I am, but I probably am in some ways. Follow me on my social media to keep up to date with my various channel-related updates, and subscribe to see more like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.